Hey, I'm Josh, and in your own words, why do you love this film? And as a cigar connoisseur, what kind of cigar are you smoking now?
I'm smoking a Cuban, and of course I always like to point out I'm not supporting their economy, I'm burning their fields. I haven't seen this movie, so I don't know, but I'm saying Billy is a brilliant director. I mean, maybe even better director than he is an actor, and he's a very, very good actor. And Willie's a great subject, so you put those two together, and you put those two together, it ought to be good. Now,
Do you think it was his love of music that gave him an understanding of Willie, or how so, do you think?
well, all actors are drawn to music, as you can see, and all musicians are drawn to acting. That's kind of the way it is. And Billy has loved music since he was a kid, though. So keep true to the dreams of thy youth. And if anybody can do this in a way that's going to be interesting for people that think they know all about Willie, it's Billy. I say he's a Thomas Jefferson. He's a solo artist. Billy.
He's also a champion of the fight for marijuana and its rights, and he's not ashamed to admit it. Do you have any comments on that? As I am also with, I think it's how ridiculous, they're saying, it makes your brain go soft, and I love how he'll go out there and say, that's complete bullshit.
This guy has not forgotten a lyric in 50 years. I forget lyrics on stage. Willie doesn't. And I remember him after the bust coming across the border. Willie was in handcuffs signing autographs. And that's a good cause. And it's particularly with Texas's criminal justice system, he's right on the money.
So would you say Texas criminal justice system is more hardcore, or it's like, I know it's a red state, but here in Austin it's the blue, but how do they feel about marijuana in your opinion?
Well, I mean, we absolutely have to legalize it. It would be such a good move when decriminalize it and legalize it. And I mean, that's a no-brainer, and that's real common sense.
I completely agree, and thank you so much. It was an honor to meet you. Yeah. All right, buddy. Thank you. I just want to know, most people know Willie Nelson as a musician, but you would probably have a more intimate relationship. Tell me about the man himself, take away the mystique almost.
Well, I mean, I don't know that there really is. It's really not a mystique kind of guy. He's like the most centered guy, just knows who he is. He never has to think about what he thinks. It just comes natural. I wrote a book. I directed a documentary about Willie several years ago. Billy, I think, his documentary King of Luck is going to be one that just opens it up, and he can just tell the Willie he knows. But I think I got the best chance to tell the Willie I knew in a book I wrote called The Dow Willie. The Willie and I wrote together, and after the book came out, I mean, like 1,000 people have come up to me and said, hey, I read your book, I have to tell you this story. Willie Nelson changed my life. Or Willie Nelson is the reason my grandparents got married. Or I was born because my parents, it was just the guy has affected so many people in all these amazing ways. And what could you do better in your life than that?
Who is Willie Nelson to American culture?
Well, he's a whole lot of things. I mean, he's the go-to guy when things go wrong in America, 9/11 or anything else. But I mean, I think he's the kind of the great heart of American popular culture in a lot of ways. His songwriting and his interpretation of American song, and really just the way he sort of stands for America.
Is he almost like a last remnants of the 60s in their fight?
Well, yeah, maybe so. Chris Christopherson says they ought to just carve his face on Mount Rushmore and be done with it now. So that sums it up pretty well.
All right, well, thank you for your time, and you know what, if you get a chance to talk to Willie, thank him for his fight.
I will, and I want to tell everybody, come see Willie, come see our new movie, Building Hope, which is our audience award winner, because Willie has 2 gorgeous songs in the movie.
Imagine. Thank you. Hey, I'm Josh with Lost in Reviews. I just want to ask you, you're a musician. And how does Willie Nelson stand to you? Is he almost like a hero to you, or what kind of perspective did that give into when you were making this film, like watching him?
Well, Willie's a hero of mine, and mainly as a songwriter, because really, if you don't have good songs, you can. I mean, I've never seen anybody take a badly written song and make it a great song. I've seen people write great songs and have someone make it into a bad song. The other way around. Same
cover songs.
Yeah, that kind of thing, or just a lot of different ways. But as a songwriter, he's one of those last troubadours who really tells the story of America and everything. So I I respect him so much for that, and he's taught me a lot over the years. I've been friends with him for a long time, and it was a great honor to be able to pay tribute to him this way.
Okay. And one thing I ask you, I love Will because I think he has balls made of steel. He is willing to be a champion of marijuana rights, and he wanted to talk about the conspiracies of 9/11. How do you feel about that, like his stances on that?
I'm in pretty much complete agreement with Willie politically and socially. I understand what he's going for, and I'm pretty much the same way, the same mindset.
Like seeing up the 60s generation, like he's that last remnants of the good fight, which doesn't seem to exist today among my generations and one before me.
Yeah. One of the main things is kids who are 18, 19 these days or in high school, they don't know as much history as we did in our generation. And that's what guys like Willie or me or any of us are trying to do, is trying to get younger people to study history. Whatever it is. I mean, if you want to be a baseball player, study the history of baseball. But if you want to be a musician or an actor or whatever it is, know the history of it before you do it. Because when I was coming up, even if I was listening to the Beatles or the Stones, I still knew Billie Holiday and I knew Hank Williams and Jimmy Rogers and all those people. And I think that's very important. And now history goes back about 6 months. And I think that's the problem. And I grew up as a hippie, so yeah, I'm trying to keep it alive.
I completely agree, and thank you for your time. And great film to pick. Thank you.
People ask us how we got started with Willie. Well, it was real simple. Both of us were hungry and we needed a job.
Got on the bus one day and never got off.
The other guitar tech just kind of walked away one day. He walked away, I walked up.
I didn't have no idea what I was getting into until I got out here.
When he hit the first note of Risky River, I was 10 years old, and I said, I got to get in the music business. It's in my blood.
The first time I met him, I can't really remember that, to tell you the truth.
It was kind of like the skid marks in the underwear of life. We leave a little spot everywhere we go. Sometimes it's good, most of the time it is. Sometimes it's not.